What is up, Booze and Chill crew? We're back at it again, and we're doing it with the microphone this time. Why? Because we simply can. And today I'm diving into something a little different. Horrorwood Reserve. This is no regular bourbon. This one is a collaboration between horror metal band Ice Nine Kills and horror spirits crew Macabre Spirits. Built on a base of Bloody Butcher red corn, aged 5 years, 84 proof. It's not exactly very Christmassy on account of it's December, but you know what? Let's see if this horror-themed whiskey lives up to the hype, whether it's not Christmassy or not. Up on the screen, I'm going to show you guys the packaging. It screams horror flick meets booze culture. Grim vibes, perfect for a late night movie of a horror themed watch party, or in this case, a Christmassy horror themed watch party because it's December. But enough hype, let's pour a glass. In fact, I already have it poured. It's already been ready. And I can smell it from like way over here. The color is like a medium amber, maybe like a slight lighter than a 10-year-old bourbon. I mean, can you really tell a difference? Maybe, maybe not. But the color kind of gives you a hint. You're not expecting a super dark, heavy notes. It's more like a younger, grain-forward, corn-driven. That's enough of that. Let's get into the first parts that we do here, and that's the smell. Cheers. You get the slight corniness right away. Honestly, it smells like a fresh cut corn, maybe like a little bit like a cornbread almost. And that grain forward base it's bold. That corn gives way to like almost like a darkery fruit, like a dark cherry, or maybe even like dried cherry. There's also a very leathery undercut in there too. I catch a faint leather glove vibes, some vanilla sweetness right behind it, and then at the very end you get a spice, not in your face but subtle, like a whisper of cinnamon and maybe like clove. It's like the bourbon is trying to whisper something dark, which fits the horror wood name. But enough of that. I'm about ready to have a sip of this. So cheers to you all. So mouthfeel, surprisingly, very smooth. The 84 proof doesn't hit heavily. More gentle heat. Smooth sip down the throat, not like a huge big burn. The flavor is like this earthiness from the Bloody Butcher corn, almost like freshly ground grain or slightly toasted cornbread. Then this like cocoa-like bitterness, like a dark chocolate or dark cocoa, mingles with dried fruit sweetness like raisins or maybe like a hint of fig or dark cherry like I mentioned. And underneath it all, I get like this bit like a peppery spice, like black pepper on warm grits. It's weird, but in a good way. It reminds me of a rustic comfort food, but with a twist. It's not overly sweet. This isn't a candy bourbon, but there is a nice balance of grain, fruit, cocoa, and spice. It's complex, but not aggressive. And then it lingers but doesn't overstay. You're left with cocoa bitterness, that earthy grainness, and a subtle warmth that reminds you just had bourbon, but not too harsh or too dry. And the aftertaste does keep evolving as you keep sipping, with a hint of vanilla as it fades away. Beyond the flavor, part of why I got curious about this one, the lore, Ice Nine Kills, and the Macabre Spirits, and Bloody Butcher Corn, a horror metal band, a heritage grain, new oak barrels. It's a spirit built for fans, built for vibe, as they say. Not just a drink, but a piece of horror-themed culture that gives it personality beyond just tasting notes. This is not a knock you off your feet kind of bourbon. It's not overproof, it's not hugely oaky or ultra aged, but it is intriguing. If you like corn forward grains, darker fruit, and cocoa notes, a smooth mouthfeel, maybe you're newer to bourbon or want something easy to sip, this might just be right for you. Also a win for horror fans doing a movie night or a themed stream, or again, Christmas horror themed stream. Horrorwood Reserve is a solid and smooth and interesting pour. It's not going to outshine your top shelf 10 plus year bourbons, but that's okay. It stands on its own as a fun, flavorful, and thought-provoking bourbon. If I were to be giving this a star rating, I would probably give it maybe a 6.5 out of 10. It's smooth, balanced, and unique enough to get a second look and fits its vibe, as the kids say. I gotta give a shout out to my good friend Jose for actually bringing me this, which even cooler behind this bourbon is that this thing came in the day of Halloween of all days. So this thing is special. If I had to nitpick, some bourbon fans might find it too mild or expect deeper oak driven complexity, but for what it tries to be, a grain driven horror branded bourbon, I think it delivers very nicely. So yeah, Horrorwood Reserves gets a thumbs up from myself. If you're watching this with a spooky movie or a slasher flick or Christmassy horror flasher flick, you might just find your new go-to pour. But that is it for that. If you dug this review, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you want me to taste next. Booze and Chill never stops exploring, because that's just how we roll here. Until the next sip, stay scary, stay chill, or Christmassy scary. And remember, if you keep watching, I'm gonna keep drinking. Cheers, y'all. It's pretty good stuff. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Ice 9 Kills fan or a bourbon whiskey fan. It's good, trust me. Cheers.